Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going over the June box from Sketchbox. The first thing out the box is this postcard for the month. It's from Rain Fredrickson. He's from Portland, Oregon, and he specializes in lettering and chalkboard art. The second card is the Sketchbox card that describes each of the items in this month's box. And here is the back of the card. The first item is the Monomi Twin Brush Set. This set contains 6 ocean-themed colors, and they're great for lettering and fine details. And on the back is a list of the colors with their names and numbers. The second item is the Sennelier ink brush in intense green. It's great for traditional calligraphy, creating texture and fine details. There's a certain way to activate this brush pen, and I'll go over that in a little bit. The third item is Le Plume 2 brush marker in the color Suede. One end is a brush marker, and the other end is a fine liner. So here's the brush tip, and here's the fine liner end. Next we have the Zig Brush Pen in white. It's supposed to be great for highlights and embellishments. There's also a certain way you have to activate this brush pen, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But here are the instructions on the back. Here we have the custom Clairefontaine mixed media pad. It's 4 by 6 inches, and there were 20 pages. Last is our Sketchbox sticker. I'm about to swatch these markers, but first I want to show you guys that the names of the colors are listed on the back of the box, but strangely they're not listed on the markers themselves. So if you decide to get these markers, I suggest keeping the box or just swatching the colors and write the names underneath, which is what I'm about to do. These Monomi markers are double-ended brush tip markers. One brush tip is smaller and the other is larger. The colors are very beautiful and vibrant, and I pretty much like anything that has to deal with the ocean. Anyway, a couple of things I've noticed is that these markers are squeaky. They remind me of cheese for some reason. And another thing that I noticed is that I found the brush tips, both the small and the large ones, both very flimsy and hard to control. The Sennelier ink brush pen is activated by squeezing the barrel until the ink reaches the brush. I use Pentel brush pens, which I really like, but this brand I've never tried before. The color is definitely intense. It's a very beautiful color, but getting the ink to come out was quite messy. On this page, I'm experimenting with blending. According to Minami, you can create watercolor-like effects with these markers. I wasn't impressed with the watercolor effect that I got with these markers. It just seemed like the paper absorbed the ink quickly, and it didn't give me enough time to blend out with water to get that watercolor effect. Now I'm blending 2 different colors together, and they blend together rather nicely, but I notice the paper is starting to pill. I like mixed media paper, but not all mixed media paper is the same. I noticed that this paper has quite a bit of texture to it. Personally, I prefer smoother mixed media paper, and I think if I had a smoother paper, then I can get the watercolor effect and the paper wouldn't pill. Finally, I'm using the Zig Brush Pen in white. I think it's okay. You definitely need to apply more than one layer of it to get a very white highlight if you're applying it over a darker color. In order to activate it, you have to turn it clockwise 5 to 10 times. I actually had to turn it way over 10 times. And if you're not careful, too much of the pigment can come out and it can be messy. I don't have a lot of experience with lettering. I'm okay at it, I'm just not the best at it. But using these Monomi markers made it more difficult for me because the brush tips were very soft and flexible, and I didn't have any control over that, so the letters ended up looking quite shaky. When I do lettering, I have to hold my brush at an angle probably around 30 to 45 degrees just to get the type of effect that I want. But with these Monomi markers, I wasn't able to do that, so I had to change up my technique a little bit. So instead of holding the brush at an angle, I pretty much had to hold the brush upright, straight, and I was able to have a little more control writing my letters, and plus I didn't hear that squeaking anymore either. When I used a Sennelier marker, I found the brush tip to be very firm, and I was able to have more control and create decent letters. So I really like the Sennelier marker for that. According to Minami, the set of markers can be used for drawing and illustration, and I wanted to try it out by drawing a mermaid. And like I said before, the colors are great, but I don't think the markers and this paper go well together. The colors ended up very streaky and the paper was starting to pill. When it came to the Le Plume marker, it was very streaky. And this mermaid didn't come out the way I wanted it to, so I'm probably going to reattempt this with my alcohol markers. But anyway, you guys, this box was just okay for me this month. I certainly wasn't jumping for joy, but it was just okay. But what do you guys think? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!